tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Hope you're having a good day. Mine's all right. Oh, man. Sometimes I wonder, maybe I should just go work somewhere that has like no meaning and I can just, do shit. Oh, gotta do one more. All right. Yo, good morning. Good morning. I'm still sick. It's all right. At least I'm going to get some stuff done today, but the 6 o'clock meeting probably isn't going to happen. I'm not able to make it to the central office meeting tonight either, so I would have had to have somebody cover the meeting for me anyway, but either way, either way. I reached out to a lot of people last week to get this halfway house or transitional house, whatever we're doing, whatever call going, and you'd be amazed at the silence. The silence. Silence, my friend. So, I'm still pissed about being cut off on Facebook. I've sent a third appeal to them. So, my point was, I've been going live for almost 6 years every day, and you just now got a complaint. We'll see. This is the last one. I'm probably going to, no, that's not true. I'll probably send another one because I think I still got 24 days. Which makes me just want to leave Facebook, honestly. Right? If it's so easy to accuse me of something like that, then gosh. That's why you can never assume that you're in a safe space. If there's other people around, you're not in a safe space. I don't care who's around. All right, we're gonna get started on this, on what Sonder is. People are like, what in the fudge? What in the fudge holes? All right, I don't have a reading, so I could easily pull a reading on that of this stuff. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. This will be on the third step. This is third step material. My name is Dion. I'm your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. All right. So what is Sonder? Let's talk about it first. The Sonder effect. Sonder is the realization that every random passerby has a life as complex and vivid as your own. It's the idea that each person has a life that's intricate, as intricate and different as you could imagine. Oh, this fit right into alcoholism. fit right into it. Right? Now you can probably see why I put it on the third step. Right? Coming to the realization that I'm not the only person in this world. We do this for driving too. Isn't it funny that everybody's a horrible driver but you? And that goes for everybody? Yep. Every person you walk by, every person you see has a life that's just as different and intricate as yours is. Now we can go back to the doctor's opinion a little bit. Seeing that, imagining that this life was the only normal one. Now, this can feel overwhelming for people with empathy. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed just looking around and seeing all the shit that's been built. Look everywhere. There's stuff built. How in the fuck did all that happen? Right? How the fuck did all that happen, man? I didn't do it. I have no idea. The right reliance that we have on other people that we don't even know to make our lives easier. Wow. But we don't even stop to consider what they might be going through. Well, a lot of us don't. Here again, we're different. See, for an alcoholic, it's imperative that we understand that other people are going through things also. This is the joy of getting out of self and understanding that maybe, just maybe, the reason that person went flying by you at 100 miles an hour was because their wife just ended up in the hospital. I'd do it too. I'd run every fucking red light. I have. You bet. We don't know what's going on. And that's what's nice about Alcoholics Anonymous. See, the steps that we go through make me realize that I'm not the only person living in this world. I'm not the only one with needs and wants. And when I can help other people with those things, then I'm improving God's world. Yeah, I just went to the UPS store and they didn't want any $2. And she's like, well, I'm going to do this. And I said, well, I can help. She's like, no, here's your receipt. Have a good day. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, but you're doing my work. She made it so fucking easy. I was grateful. You know, I thanked her for being there and being so nice. I do that quite often anywhere I go. If a cashier has helped me, this is what I say. Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Why not? You know, they always smile. Why? Because people just don't talk like that. We used to. Yeah. An encouraging word. So the Sonder effect, let's take a little bit more into it. Just a little bit. What exactly is a Sonder realization? The meaning of the word Sonder is the realization that every passerby you meet has a life just complex, which I feel really goes with the idea of disability and mental health, because you never know what someone's going through. I like that. Is Sonder a sad word? It doesn't need to be. It can raise certain emotions, right? What is an example of Sonder? The woman staring into space at the grocery store might be experiencing a moment of Sonder, or the teenager pausing at his gym locker. For example, I am struck by a moment of Sonder as I gaze around the park. Okay, seeing the forest for the trees, maybe seeing your higher power in things. Yeah. All right, now I'm going to go to step 3. And the reason I'm going to do that is because step 3 is where we realize that we need to get out of self. That's usually where it happens. This is the how and why of it. First of all, we had to quit playing God. It didn't work. How does Sonder and that go together? Oh, it so goes together. Because we never took into consideration when we were running things and manipulating that other people had things going on also. We didn't take that into consideration. Now, whenever I do anything, I always think of other people. Always. I ponder the Sonder. Next, we decided that hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be the director. He is the principal. We are his agents. He is the father, and we are his children. Most good ideas are simple. And this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arc through which we pass to freedom. Isn't it neat that you build your own arc in which you pass to freedom? Actually, God built it for you. Wasn't that nice of him? Wasn't it nice of your higher power to give you this free gift? It was. It was. So when we sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things happened. Took a position doesn't require any action. It just means, you know what, God? You might as well just take it all because I fucked it all up. So you might as well take all of it. Okay? We had a new employer being all powerful. He provided what we needed if we kept close to him and performed his work well. Established on such a footing, we became less and less interested in ourselves, our little plans and designs. We started to understand that we were not terminally unique, but we are beautifully unique. I believe that. You are different than I am. Yeah. We have a lot of similarities. I mean, we are people who would not normally mix. I wouldn't drink with one of you. You don't know me, you're right. But I know you're an alcoholic and I would not drink with you. You're going to take my alcohol. I don't want to drink with you. No. Not unless there was plenty. All right. More and more we became interested in seeing what we could contribute to life. As we felt new power flow in, as we enjoyed peace of mind, as we discovered we could face life successfully, as we became conscious of his presence, we began to lose our fear of today, tomorrow, the hereafter. We were reborn. Okay? So when we begin to lose our fear of today, tomorrow, or hereafter, that is not the fear that we're talking about under step 6 and 7. This is the fear of living in the now. And I didn't want to live in the now. Why? Because it would provide a solution and then I would have to do some work. And I don't want to. I did not want to. Okay, so when people say AA didn't work for me, I say you are correct. Because in order for it to work, you have to work it. Okay? You got off easy on the first 3 steps, and then we whine that we have to put some effort into our lives. So what do? They go and look for an easier, softer way. Most of them will stay in the program in 2-step. This is not a country dance. This is doing steps 1 and 12. I admitted I'm an alcoholic and I'm going to help other people. You cannot transmit something you do not have. You will become very, very frustrated. You will be the person in a gratitude meeting that bangs the table saying how fucking grateful they are. I see it all the time. We're now at step 3. Many of us said to our maker as we understood him. Now, this is one of the ones where, okay, it tells us after this that we can make this prayer our own. And I know a lot of people that have done it. Why? Because it's very personal. I have found usually the way that it works is that you find your maker alone. Yep, alone. Many of us said to our makers, we understood, God, I offer myself to thee. To build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Bondage of self. What is that? Oh, my little plans and designs. I have plans and designs today. Okay. But my plans and designs affect people in a good way. What are my plans and designs? Laundry, dishes, go to a meeting, go live, and rest up. I gotta rest. I'm still, this thing's hanging on like alcoholism. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help. What does that actually mean? God, use me as an example so that other people can see that it works. That's what it says to me. See, when God takes away my difficulties, like people reporting my stuff, that's a difficulty in my life right now. It is still affecting me. So yes, I have emotions around it, like anger. So what do? I'm taking that anger and I'm putting it to where it will be of use. That is not an easy accomplishment. It has taken me years and I'm still not that good at it, but I'm getting better. May I do thy will always. We thought well before taking this step. Yeah, making sure we were ready, that we could at last abandon ourselves utterly to him. Utterly means all the way. All of it, including the good stuff. Why? Because I would take my good stuff and turn it bad. Just like the opposite is now true. I can take what's supposedly bad, like my anger, and turn it into something productive. That's how you deal with your anger. My anger doesn't go away, but I've got to have an outlet. And more anger doesn't suffice. It just makes me angrier. Okay? And then I'm not much good for that day. Okay? Today, a little bit better. Now, I'm not feeling as bad. I've already got some things done, right? We found it very desirable to take this spiritual step with an understanding person, such as our wife, best friend, or spiritual advisor. This next line is so important to me. But it is better to meet God alone than with one who might misunderstand. I cannot think of a more personal moment in my life than the third step. The first time I took the third step, I was 18 years old, and I did it, and effect was not felt. I didn't feel it. Okay. But I was going through the motions. And then they said, hey, you know what? It may be a little bit. We're going to let you sit on step 3 for a little bit, which is what I do with my sponsees also. A couple days later, I was going to bed. I was reading Lord of the Rings at the time. That's where I got hooked on Lord of the Rings. Wasn't much to do. So I did a lot of reading. And I usually fell asleep while reading, so I did my prayers before I go to bed back then, and I put the book down and I found myself saying the third step prayer in my head again. And I said, you know, I'm here. I'm going to finish it off. Bam! It was like I was floating in the clouds and God was holding me. I haven't talked about this in a long time. And God was holding me. And he rocked my ass to sleep. And that was the best night of sleep I ever had in my life. I remember it. Bam. Yeah, I got to get them cats insured. Do you know what it's like having 8 cats? All right. But it was better to meet God alone than with someone who might misunderstand. The wording was, of course, and I didn't even say hi, Daryl. How rude of me. Good morning. I remember when I was drinking, I stopped saying good morning to people because they were like, but they're good about it. So I just say morning. Now I say good morning because I'm a spiritual person and I do hope that you have a good morning. I before I didn't mean it. Now I mean it. Before I was just saying it because everybody else said it. Now, when I say good morning, I actually mean it. Huh. Sonder effect. We'll get back. We'll come back around to it. Don't worry. The wording was, of course, quite optional so long as we expressed the idea, voicing it without reservation. This was only a beginning, though, if honestly and humbly made. Oh, this was just a beginning. Though, if honestly and humbly made, an effect, sometimes a very great one, was felt at once. Oh, I'll have my cats on any insurance. They're lucky to be living with me. I'm going to do the next paragraph just because you always take that extra step. Even if it's little, take that extra step. Next, we launched out on a course of vigorous action. The first step of which is a personal house cleaning. What did they just say? The first 3 steps don't have any action. You're supposed to relax and take it easy. We're doing this on purpose. You just put yourself through 10, 20 years of drunkenness. You need a week off. You need time. We understand that. Okay. That's why I believe anyway that the first 3 steps don't have any action to them. So quit handing out homework. Yeah. Hand out homework. Make them go do the dishes. Go make them clean the house. Do the stuff that we haven't been doing for years and years and years. Like what I'm doing today. It's house cleaning day. All right. Yes, it is. Okay. Which many of us had never attempted. Though our decision was a vital and crucial step, it could have little permanent effect unless it was followed by a strenuous effort to face and to be rid of the things in ourselves which have been blocking us. Our liquor was but a symptom, so we had to get down to causes and conditions. That's what we need. See, there's plenty of action. It's kind of when you were little and your parents would tell you nap while you can. Now here we are. I bet you want to go nap, but you can't. I can. I can go take a nap if I want. Well, you can, but you might not keep your job. So what is the Sonder effect? I'm just going to repeat that with the example real quick because I already know Daryl will understand it. So Sonder is the realization that every random passerby has a life as complex and vivid as your own. And that's all it means. Under All right, let's talk about insurance for pets. Sorry. I'm very, very familiar with Care Credit and all that other stuff. So, I actually used to run a company called Planet Urine. I need to rephrase that. I helped run a company. It wasn't mine. It belonged to another guy, and we specialized in removing dog and cat urine. It was called the Planet Urine. Planet URN. He was really good at marketing, and yeah, he even got on the Tonight Show at one point of, stupid business names and stuff. Yeah, yeah, Planet Urine. Yeah, Planet URN. It worked too. Man, I would come in and save your car. Like, I remember there's this one neighborhood, and I helped this one lady, and she loved it so much. She had Berber carpet. She told her whole fucking neighborhood, and they all had peeing dogs. I made a lot of money off that neighborhood. And years later, she would end up babysitting my daughter. Kind of weird. And she loved me because I did such good work for her. Man, I made bank. I'd make like, I'm not going to say. Divorcees. Oh man, I could charge like $1,000 for that in Highlands Ranch. All right. So now that we love our pets here, we love our pets. So I think people in the program, I think every person in the program should have a pet. I have jobs for people that want to work with pets. I've been thinking on this, and maybe what we could do is, I know we don't have a location, but I don't want these resources to just sit here. Yeah, maybe I can open up a little thing and say, hey, I will help you find a job. It'll cost you $40, but that $40 will go towards finding us a location. Right? I'm thinking of some fundraisers that we can do so we can bring in a little bit of money, so we can go to them and say, hey, we got 10,000 to start with here. Come on. That'll cover us for 2-3 months. Let's get going, right? It's kind of what I'm thinking. There again, and this very much goes with it, Sonder. I'm thinking of other people because they're sitting out there, and winter's coming fast. Winter's coming fast. And we're not going to have these days for much longer. So, but that's the Sonder effect for alcoholics. No, one-time deal, like a one-time, but it still doesn't fit, because anybody could go to the person we're talking to and get a job. So it doesn't, I'm just thinking outside the box. That way it won't work. I can't charge for it. It won't. It just won't work. Maybe a fundraiser or something. I don't know. Just thinking, because, I've got a captive audience, and when I have that, I tend to go for longer and stuff. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep praying on it, before I go, we had the funeral or the celebration of life on Sunday, and it went pretty well. It was really neat to see a lot of people gather for my sister-in-law. And during the week, there were several people who had ticked me off, but I made a conscious decision that I was going to go to this thing and I was going to make it better, or I was not allowed to go. I didn't even talk to my wife about this. I just know, right? And I went with that attitude, and you know what? As people can, I just thanked everybody for coming, for the support and things like that. Didn't matter who it was, right? You know what I did? I went around and picked up trash. Had a mask on, right? Because I was sick, and I went around and picked up trash. Hey, can I get that for you? Because they're sitting around talking and and having fun in their celebration of life and talking about Kate and things. So I'm gonna make their life a little easier, so that they can continue to sit there and talk about her, and then her name will go forward. And all I had to do is just throw trash away, and it made things better. See, I don't feel like I'm above anything in this program. I really don't. And I'm willing and I stand ready to pretty much do anything that I need to do. The hard part is the hard part. I'm going to leave it there because you guys already know what I was going to say. I'm minimizing. I have my grandkids running around going, I squeeze your head. I'm squeezing your head. People don't even know what it is. They don't care. It's awesome. Last time they came over, they're like, Grandpa, I'm squeezing your head. It's from Boys in the Hall. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as it was one of those things that came out of my mouth and I knew it was wrong. Yeah, we could still, yes. And you know what? Fuck it. Let's start helping. There's people that need jobs now. And I feel like I'm being a little selfish. So fuck it. Let's do it. We got another person just showed up, and I never like to leave anybody hanging. So I may go on a little bit longer, but this person is going to have to say hello or something. Yes. And we'll just, thank you. Yes. All right. What do we got here? You know what? Let's get a little bit tougher. All right. The person doesn't need to say hi, but you do need to stick around for this part. I'm going to guilt you into listening. September 3rd. Then now keep in mind, this is Al-Anon. Okay? But there's good stuff in here. Well, I'll tell you what I like about Al-Anon. They're a little bit tougher. That's what I like about them. They don't do suggestions. Before coming to Al-Anon or AA, I had built a lifetime of dreams and promises that were in that project. I'll call that friend with whom I've lost. All right, and it's back. Yep. Good point, Daryl. Thanks, Internet, for going down. Nothing works like it's supposed to anymore. So anyway, yeah, I know. It's the see, this is the bad part about Restream. Zoom and YouTube, and it won't do that. I've been having nothing but trouble with Quantum. Nothing but trouble. From the moment I moved in here. They said, hey, we got fiber in your area. I'm like, great, I want it. They said, great, we'll be there on Friday and install it. Guy gets here, he goes, fiber hasn't been run here. There's nothing I can do. And that's how it started. I used to install phone switches and I know my telephony. Okay. I know how all this shit works. Okay. So when they said it wasn't at the D mark, my God, that's a mile away. All right. Zoom is good and it's free unless you go over 45 minutes. But I got lucky and mine's like $12.99 a month for the whole thing. So look at it. While I'm reading this, and it's someday I'll do this, someday I'll do that. Look at all the stuff that I'm holding back my partners from doing. Ugh, ouch. Right? Even me, I procrastinate. Oh boy, did I don't do it as much, but I procrastinated. Oh yeah. I was a big procrastinator. I'll get sober tomorrow. I'll get sober tomorrow. Knowing damn well tomorrow never comes. I know that. That's why I said it. Yeah, and I would use something like that, but with my videos and everything else, I have to have a very good upload speed. That's my key. Download, right here, download doesn't mean anything. It's my upload that matters, right? My download could be 900, which it is. Okay, but my upload needs to be above 100 or the latency and the buffering happens. So, all right. Wait, just as I waited for the alcoholic to come in from a binge and for inspiration to bring interesting friends and career opportunities to my doorstep and for everybody else to change. But Al-Anon has helped me to see that today could be that someday I've always wanted. There isn't enough time in these 24 hours to do everything I've ever hoped to do, but there is time to start making my dreams come true. Ooh, okay. Well, I have a download of bits per second, 100 on an upload. That's pretty good on an upload. Downloads is not that bad either. Depends on what you're doing. I do a lot of game playing, but not with others. So I don't need a huge download. But I'm a geek. And I like to brag that I can download 15 gig, that I can download, 60 gig in 10 minutes. That's it. That, and there's a lot of people in this house. A lot. And I get a lot of visitors. I have a lot of family. I have nieces and nephews and grandkids, and they all have devices. So I have to have it. All right. So what are some of the things, what I'm trying to think, what am I putting off that I'd really like to do? No, you could probably be lower. It really depends on whether you're using Zoom. Okay. Now, I prefer Restream because it's not as dependent on the internet. So when I podcast, when I do an interview with somebody, if the other person has crappy internet, it works a little bit better than, say, Zoom. So, but then sometimes it sucks and we just go to Zoom. I have two ways of doing it. So honestly, I don't care. Yeah, not a problem. And Amber don't mind. I ramble so much here that I lose most of my people, but just by rambling. But yeah, there's all these things that I wanted to do with my life that, I never really did. Yeah. And I was eating up my wife's time so much. She didn't get to have any kind of social life or anything. Mm-mm. Now, I leave her the fuck alone. Okay? I don't leave her alone, but, she doesn't need to do everything for me anymore. It used to be she'd have to go to the UPS store for me. I couldn't do it. Just doing that was just, yeah. Thank you, God. And now I can go anywhere. Even just 6, 7 months ago, I was still having a hard time getting out. So, right, by asking my higher, okay, I've ever hoped to do, but there is time to start making my own dreams come true. By asking my higher power for guidance and by taking some small step in the direction of my choice, I will be able to accomplish more than I would ever have thought possible. Today's reminder, today's reminder, I will not wait for a blue moon, a rainy day, the 366th day of the year, or someday to accomplish good things in my life. Each indecision brings its own delays, and days are lost laminating over lost days. When you can do or think you can do, begin it. For boldness has magic power and genius in it. So, and I like to see, so courage to change. See, we cannot sit comfortably in our stuff. It's got to be a little uncomfortable, but you're getting used to uncomfortable, aren't you? You're used to delayed gratification now. You don't live your life on instant minute like the rest of the world does. And this is where Sonder really comes into effect, because you see people warring over silly things. You see things that you didn't get to see before. But because you did the work, because you looked inside, you can now see these things in other people. You won't have a choice. And you'll have a couple options. You can either let them go on their merry way, or maybe you can make their day a little bit better. You might be the only person that says anything positive to them all freaking day, or all week, or all month. Encourage people for being there. Hey, I'm glad you're here. And mean it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. So I'm going to go to a noon meeting, because I don't think I'll make one later. So I get tired. I'm getting up earlier and earlier. All right. May God's preparing me for something. He's always preparing me for something. I love you. Thanks for hanging out even through the buffering. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, I am. I'm feeling better. I'm still sick. I'm still congested, and it took on a new. Yeah, let's just say I'm still not feeling well, but I don't feel so sick that I'm grumpy like I was last week. I'm grumpy. I was so grumpy. My mom asked me about it on Sunday, and I said, "Mom, I know I'm just sick, and and I'm okay." But I listened to her. She cares. She doesn't want me to get angry and my heart to go boom. All right. I love you. Peace out and have a day.